Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Back with a little bit of Wallenpaupack up in his piece in the form of their brew pub exclusive Haus. Haus. This is a Rauch Helles. What was the last Wallenpaupack beer I did? I don't remember. Do them from time to time. Can get them pretty easily, considering I work in Pennsylvania. They're distributed decently, especially in the Northeast and like Lehigh Valley. And I got this actually in Stroudsburg. It says brewpub exclusive. I just realized that I bought it at a place, not at the brewpub. So I wonder if they had this as a brewpub exclusive and then just had so much of it they decided to put it out there in the world. I do not know. It does have a little bit of time on it, but it's it's a smoke beer. Come on now. It says it's about 3 months old. What else do we have going on here? House smoked Helles lager, 4.8% alcohol by volume. Done and done. Yeah, it was. Never been this huge fan of Wallenpaupack's labeling, but they're not bad labels by any stretch of the imagination. Give this a pop. Gold can, or gold top, I should say. So yeah, here we go. We're here for the smoke. I am probably about 12 hours away from leaving my place to travel to Philadelphia for log jamming. Human Robots Lagerfest. I'm pumped. Might as well dive in a little bit of lager, a little bit of smoke beforehand. Like I said, label-wise, die. Beer-wise, I mean, it looks the part of a Helles. Sure. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like, almost champagne-like kind of carbonation on that sucker. Look at that sucker go. Yeah, absolutely mesmerizing carbonation on that thing. Beautiful. Pinky finger, white as white could be. Soapy edged, fluffy centered kind of head to it. And it poured a bit too much for me to give this a proper swirl, but, it's smoke beer, so you should be able to get a nose on it. Give it a little bit of a whirl. Let's give it a little bit of a huff. Okay. It smells very much like just a base kind of Helles to me. Really not getting much as far as the smoke component. At least not a big one aromatically. Really is just this nice kind of elevated above Pilsner malt, kind of toasty, bready kind of maltiness. Maybe even a precursor to like a slight hop bittering on this sucker. But that's really just malt driven here in a sweeter, kind of bready, toastier kind of sense. Not really anything all that big and smoky. Now, to be fair, you're talking about a sub 5% smoked Helles lager. Even when you talk about, Schlenkler, stuff like that, it's not a huge smoke on that. But you tend to get a little bit of something on the nose. Here, it really is just coming off as a base kind of Helles. And a really good one. At that, there really is not any kind of negative off aromatics or anything like that on the beer itself. It just comes off as just, nice, bready, toasty, crackery, malty Helles. Yeah. We're just going to dive in. Cheers, y'all. Okay. Yeah. It's a smoke beer, but it's very, 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 very faint here. Yeah. The first thing you get hit with is that crackery, toasted, elevated maltiness, something above what you get from a typical kind of Pilsner malt, so you're definitely in that kind of Helles range. The little precursor to bittering thing, not really there. There's a soft utilitarian bittering here, but nothing too crazy. A little bit of buttery vibe on it, just a skosh, a skosh of buttery vibe on it. I get that from time to time, even from Schlenkler Helles, so it's not like something that's out of norm when it comes to these kind of beers, I guess. So just a touch of that, there's a slightest bit of diacetyl in there, just minor, and then a absolute small, very, very, very small dollop of smoke to it. Like, I don't know if I get it if I don't know what this beer is. Like, you give this to me blind, I think I might lean, I might be kind of Grodzisky maybe, or something along those lines, like that level of smoke. It's very, very gentle, very, very light there, but I just wanted just a little bit, and I'm talking just a little bit, on a scale from 1 to 10, if I get an arbitrary scale of 1 to 10, if I kind of talk about the smoke level in this, it's like less than 1. I want it to be 1 or just a skosh over 1. I don't want it to be a 5 or anything crazy. I just want it just elevated a little bit to be more of a smoked beer. This to me comes off as a fairly well done Helles that happens to have the ever so slightest touch of smoke to it. Barely. Like, I think you give this to somebody who doesn't really appreciate smoke beers, and I think they're like, yeah, I'm fine with this. This is totally cool. Like, I mean, smoke beers can be offensive to some people, including this dude. Back in the day, way back in the day, I was a big, smoke beer guy. We're talking like late aughts, late 90s, early aughts. But we come around from time to time. Listen, when I was growing up, I thought mayonnaise sucked, and I hated onions. What did I know when I was younger? But yeah, so it's fine. It's well done. Minus that little diacetyl thing. It is so minor. I'm really kind of searching for that smokiness in there, so I'm really kind of trying to dig into it. So it's very, very, very light. But like I said, I've had other smoke Helleses that have touched on that from time to time. I don't know necessarily if that's inherent to the style, but it's there. But again, I don't think it's going to put anybody off. And then that ever so slightest bit of smoke today, which was a little bit more elevated, done and done. That's it. So there you go. Excited to pick it up. Got a 4-pack. Will be drank. Probably share this with some people and get their thoughts on it. But there you go. A little bit of Haus from Wallenpaupack Brewing Company, the Haus Helles. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better smoke beers I've had as late. No. I mean, it barely qualifies as a smoke beer for me. But if I say just, is it one of the better Helleses I've had as of late? On the outside looking in. You know what I mean? It's especially when it comes to like Mount Rushmore says, it's fine. It's tasty. I would love to rip it on draft at the brewery and see how it goes from there. Tasty beer nonetheless. I'm not hating on it. I think I paid like $14 a 4-pack. We'll talk about that pricing point and stuff like that in a sec. But so yeah. So I said, off the shelf, even though it's pub exclusive, off the shelf, I think $13-14 and leave you with it if you like we like this. If you like Helles and you just want the ever so slightest bit of smoke, extremely tiny smoke, you'll dig this. There we go. We're reviewing the books. Hopefully enjoy. Down there, if you would like to talk about this beer, this is brewery, Wallenpaupack Brewing Company. Have you been to the brewery? Have their beers? Have you had this beer? Have you had this beer? And do you have a history with smoked beers? And what are your thoughts on the level of smoke in this beer and all that fun stuff? Yada, yada, yada. All that stuff down there. Hopefully enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoyed. Little smoke jammer right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers, though.